right, we back at it again with my boy Sawand. All right, this is another episode of Conversation is Coffee. Make sure you tap in, make sure you subscribe, make sure you leave a post. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment. I mean, it's a lot of things you got to do, but you got to do everything though. And honestly speaking, I thank you supporters for showing your support, showing up, and being there, and kind of supporting me during this journey. I do this for the masses. We do this for the masses. We do this to actually, give information to you guys to kind of expose you to different elements of life and entrepreneurship in essence, because it's a saying that any event that you work for somebody your whole entire life, you'll never become rich. And sadly, but true, it is very true. So we want you to get in tune with becoming an entrepreneur. We want you to get in tune with becoming a person that's employed for yourself and doing things for yourself. And with that being said, don't skip this one. Don't skip a beat. This is going to be a good one. We got my boy Sawand in the house today, and stay tuned. So with that being said, my boy Sawand, tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got started.
Yeah, man. I'm Sawand Belcher. My Instagram name is Thisismetakingaction. And I'm a country boy. I come from North Carolina. I'm still here in Greensboro, North Carolina, from the coast originally. Yeah, I'm nothing, I'm nothing crazy special. But I've gotten a lot of my success through coming through college, failing at college, having a child, getting into business, which happened to be the car business at the time, and using all of the skills that I learned through life and honing them in. Thankfully, I landed in the car business because it really allowed me to sharpen my skills as a speaker, as a persuader, as an influencer, and really allowing me to make some money at that time, so I can use to get into real estate, and that's what I've had a lot of my success in, is using real estate to become a multimillionaire. So that's kind of what I do, man.
So, me myself, I kind of indulged in the car salesman, capacity once I came out of the Marine Corps. For me, because originally, I came out of the Marine Corps, I was like, hey, what I'm going to do next? What can I do? What's next for me? What's going to be like prime time? What can I indulge in? Like, and I was always known as a speaker. I was always known as a business person that had a good sense of a business accolade. So, I was able to actually indulge in the car salesman business. And with that, it's almost like it actually can help you, pivot or summit into that, entrepreneurship, right?
Sure.
So with your platform and everything that you do within your capacity, so on, uh, give the people something, and you don't got to give them everything, but just give them something. So like, what are your arenas as of this point right now? Like, kind of, what are you dibble dabbling in? What helps you get into the plateau where you're at right now? Because we want to expose the masses. We want to kind of educate our people and let people know that we're out here and we're making money and we're doing things to actually educate others. And we're pulling back and we're grabbing people. So, what are some of the things that actually helped you along the way that kind of helped you get to the point to where you're at now?
For sure, for sure. Well, first of all, if I could speak to anybody, I don't dabble. I don't dabble. I don't side hustle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't wish for luck. I don't speak on chance. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
True enough. True enough.
Everything that happens to me is because of me, and that's the mindset that the car business gave me. The sales managers and the finance managers, that I was, at the time, I thought it was a punishment because I was under these guys,
Yeah,
because of how rough they are.
I've been there. Definitely been there.
It was actually a blessing that I came in under these guys, because they were willing to say what nobody wanted to say in corporate America. They were willing to put you through a hard time because they knew it was gonna, over time, it was gonna rough you up and give you a thicker skin. But what I do as a real estate investor, I simply use the art of negotiation from the car dealership. right? I use the art of negotiation mixed with a little marketing to find motivated sellers. And then I learned how to structure deals just over time through education, learning from other guys that know how to do it better than me. And, so I buy property at a discount, for myself. And then I'll resell it to others, or some I'll hold on to, some I'll fix up and resell. But essentially, there's about 10 different ways in real estate, and I make money in all of those ways. Most people in one business, they say, hey, I'm gonna have a vending machine and I'm just gonna make money on selling the stuff in the vending machine.
Yeah.
But there'll be another person who they will make their own vending machine and they'll resell the vending machine to other people. They'll package their own chips and they'll make money off the chips. They'll also have their own credit card processing company that they're an affiliate with. So they're getting a spiff off of the or the credit card sponsoring. And then they'll also provide Wi-Fi for somebody to buy while they're in the store, that they can use the Wi-Fi there and own the ATM right beside it, because it's all in one business.
Wow.
So what I do is I make sure that my real estate company makes quick checks. Okay. We make consistent checks, and then we make slow, big checks. So that's kind of a quick nutshell of what of how I try to run my business, and how I run my business and how I teach others to run theirs as well.
So basically, you basically have a niche, and I call it the holistic approach. And within that holistic approach, in essence, it's like you've been able to reach different platforms and utilize those platforms to build and to make something of it, right? So
Yep.
I mean, that makes sense. That makes sense.
In the modern day, they call it leverage. In the modern day they call it leverage. So like, one of the benefits of being at the car dealership under Scott Bisbee at the time, he was the general manager. So when he hired me, number one, I was a senior in college, okay, and we had just got pregnant, me and my girlfriend at the time, my wife now. And so I was trying to find myself, and this came from, like, I was cheating on my high school sweetheart, so this was like tough for me to deal with at the time. And so I went in for an interview. Like I said, I know how to sell.
Yeah,
definitely. I know how to sell. So I immediately got to the general manager the day that I came in there. And the first thing that he said to me was, promise me, if you make $10,000 in 1 month, that you'll quit school.
Wow.
And I said, brother, I want to finish school. That's just a part of what I do. He said, well, maybe you shouldn't work here. And I said, so you're trying to tell me I'm not worthy? I said, brother, you put me out here in front of your best, and I'll go ahead and I'll outsell them right now. And he said, well, look, man, that doesn't matter to me. I'm a millionaire. I don't need you, but I want to make millionaires. Okay. So I would like to have you. But what I need you to promise me is, if you make $10,000 in 1 month, that you'll leave school, you know? And that was a conversation that I always remember, because it was uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable at that time. And it was a shift for me. Like I said, I had the new baby on the way. I had my heart was hurt because I cheated, and now I had this new woman that I had to take care of on top of this baby situation. And I had to pretty much get rid of school so I can become a man and start making money to handle all of these new responsibilities that I just created overnight. And then this man just says, I have to up and change my life right now. That was like an essential time in my life that said, okay, I can either back away from the pressure, or I can get under the rock, and I can get stronger, breaking the rock down or picking it up and moving it over.
I believe we have a lot of the same vernacular, in the sense of we look at things very, very similar. And I had a conversation with somebody the other day, and I said, hey, you're living in a particular area, and with this area that you're living in, it's not progressive to your growth. And they blatantly uttered to me, they said, well, at my age, I just don't foresee myself uprooting me and the family and actually relocating to indulge in another area. And I said, you know what? I think that you got to think of it like this. your greatest success story is going to come from a failure, a time that you failed. And when you fail, you don't fail and you kind of just say, "Hey, I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna just basically, just take it in and just endure it and soak in my sorrows." But no, when you have the ability and the brain capacity to actually say, "Okay, cool, you know what? I fell back, but I'm also fell forward because I'm gonna take that leap and I'm gonna go forward." And in doing so, as a people, we have to realize that it's not all about, we just want to win, because the life is not all about winning. People look at me, people may look at you in the same complex, and they say, "I see the top of the iceberg, what they're making now, what they're doing now, what
Right.
they're going now," but they don't
Right.
see that bottom of the iceberg that is the roughage, and that
Right.
roughage itself, that's what helps you grow.
Right.
And to top it off, Sawand, you had a why. Your why was, I got this new kid coming,
Right.
right? I got this new lady that I'm gonna make my wife. I got this
Right.
new kid coming, and I don't want to fail them.
Right. And
So,
that
so
was a
every,
that-
go ahead.
that's a barrier. That's a barrier for our generation right there, just so you know.
Definitely,
because
definitely,
because most people will pull away, right? They'll
definitely.
use because mama and daddy, they typically come in and say, hey, well, make sure you get a DNA test to make sure it's yours, right?
Yes.
And so
Rightfully so.
that
Rightfully
instantly
so.
makes the child break away from their responsibilities, as
Yeah.
it's like, it's okay if you don't want to step up to this challenge. So, I look at that point when I had that conversation with Scott, it made me connect to my challenge and take my challenge face on. That's a whole, that was a whole bar in itself,
Exactly.
having that conversation with him, you know.
Exactly. And you know what? At the end of the day, I give you kudos for that, because a lot of people, they kind of subdue to their circumstances, and rightfully so. You as an I, and I as in you, we're not that type of people. I'm one to say, like, if you give me a bull, I'm gonna take that bull by its horns, and I'm gonna grab at him, and
Yep.
I'm take it on. I'm honestly gonna take it on. If you tell me no, I don't even want to know why you told me no. I just know that I'm gonna turn that no into a yes. Period.
Right. Right.
Period. And it's some of the vernacular I learned from the Marine Corps. Some of it I learned, in school and college. And I'm glad you actually mentioned that pivotal point when you said the sales manager, right? Or even like the manager of the whole entire dealership said, "Hey, you have to promise me in the event that you make $10,000 a month in 1 month that you're gonna
Right.
quit school." Right?
Right.
Because here at Conversations Coffee, we like to kind of focus on post-secondary success, right? For the
Yeah.
most part, when we giving things out to the masses, whether you're in college, you're in high school, whether you're a grown person, you're thinking about going back to school, you gave them a pivotal point. Because I had a conversation with somebody earlier today, and he was like, "Hey man, hey Ricky, I'm gonna get down and I'm gonna do my BA or my associates in business, and that's when I'm gonna come to live, and that's when I'm gonna do this, that, and the third." And I'm like, "No, bro,
Right.
you don't necessarily need that paper
Right.
to do what you can already do." And I'm gonna tell you
Right.
something. That brother, he has a mouthpiece on him. He can sell you water if he was a shark.
Right.
We know a shark can't survive without water,
Right.
but he'll
Right.
sell you water if you're a shark, or if you're a whale. He's gonna sell you some water because he has that capability to do so. And my next conversation to him, because I kind of wanted him to vent, sometimes you got to hear people vent. Sometimes you got to hear people say what they got to say and get it out. And once they get it out, and then you got to actually tell them, "Hey man, if you're ready to listen and understand, I got something for you." Life is honestly what you make it. Your wildest dream is actually at the closest grasp in
Right.
life,
Right.
because it's your wildest dream, and you think, "No, I can never reach that kind of, I can never get to where I want to go in life." But in essence, uh, that furthest dream and your
Yeah.
wildest dream is always there at your fingertips.
Right. And
Always at
that's
your
why
fingertips.
that's the story that I was telling my mastermind students today. Today we had a mastermind meeting, and you know,
But before you get into the mastermind
yeah,
students, elaborate on the mastermind class so that we know exactly what it is. You know, you
yeah,
may have some future students out there, and why not go ahead and put it out there on Conversations with Coffee? Because at the end of
for
the day,
sure.
you know, we're here for the people.
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, when we was growing up, just to start what off with a story, when we was growing up and somebody was successful at the family reunion, most of the
Yeah.
time they didn't tell us, how they got successful,
The
why they
route
wanted
to
to be
success.
successful, or what they did to get successful. So
Definitely.
I pride myself on telling everybody this is how I get successful. So I teach people how to invest in real estate. I teach people how to buy the block back, how to take when we was in high school, we used to always rep our set and it'd be Parkside. It's our neighborhood, but half of those guys that was repping Parkside, the neighborhood, they mama didn't own the house, they was renting. So I
Definitely.
teach people how
Definitely.
to own. So I teach people how to buy back their block,
Definitely.
in a sense. So I teach guys through a beginner level, one I have a couple courses, real estate made easy course to show people how to, market and negotiate and structure deals. You can go a step up and get weekly coaching. You can go a step up and get like 6 month and I help you, create your business. But then there's guys that really do the business already. They have a full understanding. They just need to change their circle because at some point, when you break through all the generational curses, like your dad says, hey, you just need to get a job, don't quit your job. And you break through that and you actually get your entrepreneurial journey started. You start
Yeah,
making some
the
money.
educational
And
system as
then
well.
right. And then you break through another barrier where your wife didn't want you to actually quit because she was afraid of not having health care. And then you break through another barrier and actually get to your goal of making $25,000 a month. Then you need like another breakthrough, and a lot of the times it's the mastermind, it's the people that you hang out with and associate on the regular basis. Those people that you hang out with on the regular basis, those people understand what you're going through because they've either already been there or they're on that same journey, and they're gonna literally share their experiences with you while they're going through, or the stories that they've been through while they're going through, and they're going to walk that journey with you. They're going to share resources with you. So I share private money guides with my mastermind students. We're going to Atlanta in July on a trip. We're renting out a mansion, and we're going to do some
Wow.
masterminding there, and talk about real estate and look at some houses there. We outside of just education, it's more of expanding the mindset and breaking barriers down, and pushing ourselves and holding each other accountable at a different level. So it's not necessarily education, but it's really accountability. And I help in all of those ways. So if you want to, if anybody wants to, if it's interested in any kind of real estate, they definitely can reach out. But I was saying that because it's important that we hang out with the right people. On your entrepreneurial journey, you're literally going to have, when you finally decide to make that change, that shift, you're going to have strangers come out the woodworks that you don't even know that tell you that you can't do it. you know, yeah,
How crazy do they sound, though? How
yeah,
crazy do they sound? Because in all
right,
honesty, I mean, again, your furthest dream
right,
is right at your fingertips.
right,
I promise you, like people don't even realize how like pivotal it is in life. Like your furthest dreams is at your actual fingertips, and all you have to do is put in a little effort. So again, I'm gonna
Hold
have
on, real
Sawand's
quick, real
information.
quick before,
Yeah, go
real
ahead.
quick
Go
before you
ahead.
go
Go ahead.
too
Go
far,
ahead.
real
Go ahead.
real
Go
quick
ahead.
before you go too far. This has been my scripture for today. This has been my scripture for today, and it's been ringing all day long. So it's Habakkuk 2:2. Okay.
Go ahead.
So it says, um, I stand, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me and what I should answer when I am approved. Okay. And the next statement is, and the Lord answered, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables that he may run and readeth. Okay, so
Wow.
what this is talking
The
about.
elaboration, y'all. The
Yeah.
elaboration,
So
y'all.
what this is talking about
Like it.
is having faith.
Yes.
Okay. It's talking about having faith and being okay to dream. Okay. So dream like a child. And then it goes even further to say, when you dream and you know the desires of your heart, to write them down. Okay. And once you come up with those goals, because that's what they are in today's world, they're goals, right? They're affirmations.
Exactly.
Once you've written those down, decided truly what you're going to put your faith in, is you actually read them in the morning, in the day, and at night. And God will know exactly how to bless you to give you those things. Okay. So right now is a perfect time to get to know yourself. It's the perfect time to get to know Sawand Belcher. It's the perfect time to get to know Ricky McNear, and to take time away from your wife, your kids, or whoever it might be, your parents, or whatever you might be going through at the time, and write down your goals in detail. And you want to put all of the dreams down. So, I mean, health, spiritual, business, finance, trip, marriage, kids, whatever those goals are, you want to put those down. And then you want to put how you're going to get to those goals during the year. And then you also want to put time limits by the time in the year which they're going to happen. Because once again, God needs to know exactly. he needs the vision to be plain. Okay.
Definitely.
So my vision is so clear. So I went to go see it. I had faith to go see this $1 million house. We've been looking at $1 million houses all year. Okay. So
I saw that you had someone on Facebook the other day, matter of fact.
Yep. And that's so I apparently I saved this house back in 2018 on my phone, but the house didn't start popping back up on my phone, until this year when I started having faith to look at $1 million houses.
Yeah.
Okay. So the house started popping back up. I'm like, yo, okay, Lord, I'm gonna go see this house. Right. So I set it up with my realtor to go see this house. And talk about this, the person that built it. When I got there, I was so inspired because the person that built it, his dream was so big. I literally walked up to the house, and you know how the house has lights in the front of the house, right? Mm-hmm. So number one, they're motion sensor lights, but they're not lights. They're gas lanterns. Mm-hmm. So when you walk up to the house, gas goes through the lantern and fire comes through the lantern. So you have these lanterns that light up the house, and fire, not lights, fire. And so it's on another experience level.
Beyond your wildest dream, people. This is beyond your wildest
dreams, beyond your wildest dreams.
But it's at your fingertips, though. It's definitely at your fingertips.
It is. You can
definitely grasp it.
And so, like, a couple things that I loved about this house is, number one, I felt inspired. I felt inspired to make money. I felt inspired to go get it, when I was walking through this house. So literally all of my goals this year are focused on, how can I, set myself up in the future to buy this house. Matter of fact, in this year, I made him an offer. I did make him an offer. And last night, I was so intentional about dreaming about where I want to go. As far as my experience in having a house like this, it came with a 20-car garage. And I'm like, Lord, I got a 20-car garage, Lord. Like,
that's something that future guy.
I was like, what I'm gonna put in that garage?
That's guy.
So God was like, well, what cars do you want? I'm like, what cars do I want? I need to start writing down my dream list of cars. Because if I'm gonna have a 20-car garage, I gotta fill it up with something, and I gotta know exactly what I want.
Just not empty space.
Exactly. So you do have to dream, and your dreams are at your fingertips. Because if you would have told me that I would have bought 300 houses, I think it's more than 300 houses at this point, and own 40 rental properties and help people live, and set standards and go further in life, I probably wouldn't have believed you, But your dreams, your dreams, can come to fruition by faith, and actually working that thing out. So.
Let me ask you this. When I was watching your page, I think either today or the other day, I seen something on there with the within the parameters of Airbnb. So do you kind of like indulge in that as well in that space?
Yeah. So in the investment world, it's not really Airbnb. It's a short-term rental.
Gotcha.
So I focus. So like I was telling you, in real estate, you can either some people call it wholesale. So you can do assignments. So you can get a property under contract, and then you can sell your rights to that contract for like a quick check within about 2 weeks, but they're smaller checks. Okay. Or you can get good at raising private money or getting good with banks. So you can buy those properties and rehab them to resell them to first-time home buyers and people who want to live in those houses.
Definitely.
Or you can hold on to them. Okay. Or you can hold on to them and rent them out, you know. And so I do all of those, but I like renting them out. So some of them are long-term rentals. So they have people that are in them for a year lease,
Okay.
you know, but it's really, you need to diversify your portfolio. So I got 40 houses. So some of those are long-term. Some of those are short-term, meaning I put furniture in them. I make them look nice. I put plates and glasses and all that good stuff. So I had somebody just, rent out my one side of my duplex. It's a studio. They just rented it out for 2 weeks for $1,500.
Wow.
Yeah, because
I saw that. I saw that.
they sold a house. So they sold their house that they live in because they're building a new house, and they thought the new house was going to be finished and closed on by the time they sold their old house. But apparently there's a little gap of 2 or 3 weeks.
Exactly. Yeah.
So they need some place to stay, you know. So I capitalize, I make more money on a short-term rental.
Capitalize on it.
Yeah, so I capitalize on traveling nurses needing to come in town when the hospital needs extra work, when an insurance agent comes into town because there's an abundance of claims, or when people just want to come into town for vacation for a week with their family. So yeah, I do some short-term rental stuff, and it's good. It's really good if you get a handle on it.
So, you know, I mean, again, we have some good content here in Conversations Coffee. And we need you guys to go ahead and subscribe. You know, check out my boy Sawand. I'm gonna have all of his information below in the description. And you know, it's here for you, because it's no sense of sitting around not making any money, not making any profits, not making any changes in life, because we have it to where you can actually make a lot of changes in life. You can make a lot of money in life, and you can make a lot of different. You can make a difference just in general. You know.
Right.
You know, for me, for the most part, the reason why I came up with Conversations Coffee is because I kind of felt like I went through school, you know, and again, my path is my path. It's not everybody else's. Your path is your path, you know, as in the same sense. When your manager told you at the car dealership, they said, hey, you know, promise me any event that you make $10,000 in 1 year, you'll quit school.
In 1 month. Yep.
I'm sorry, 1 year. My bad. No, not 1 year. sorry, guys. That's not a lot of money. That's not a lot of money. That's no money, actually. I think I probably made $10,000 in 1 year in high school. You know, I was 15 years old. I probably made more than that. So my bad, my blush. You know, in 1 month, you quit school. And then if you think about it, right, $10,000 in 1 month, that equates to $120,000 in 1 year.
Right.
There's a lot of people out there in this world right now that don't make that. If you look it up on Google right now, they say 10% of people that's African American of African American descent, male descent, make $100,000 in 1 year. That is coming off of every list that you look out there on the internet right now, and it's sad, because if you were to actually take the time and get involved with different things, like what my boy Sawand has to actually offer, you can double that. You can
make that in a month.
You can quadruple that. You know, and it's actually not hard, but you just have to be willing to actually put the work in. Yes, I'll tell you, and Sawand to tell you as well. Were you afraid when you actually kind of got indulged in that, or it was kind of like, let me just do it, and it is what it is?
Like I said, the car business got me in shape for that. The car business got me in shape for that. So the car business got me in shape for that. So let me tell you this story real quick. And this is why I'm successful. I'm successful because I tell Scott Bisbee, I tell Mike Hilton and Bobby Martins and David Langley, my managers at those times, and even Randy Greeno, I text them all the time, you know, thank you for making me a beast. I tell them that all the time because they pushed me. So it was a Saturday, you know, and on Saturdays, that's the best day for car sales. Okay, it's the best day. They want everybody on the floor is getting it. So on Saturdays, I would come in early so I can hit the service line. Yeah. Okay. I always wanted to have the first sale of the day because I could set up a hat trick. You know, I could set up.
So you didn't have to get on point. You hit the service line.
Yeah, I hit the service line. It's like the
my
easiest
3
customer
came from
support.
on point. We'll talk about that later.
You know, my sales game was on point, man.
Yeah.
And but yeah, so I came in on that Saturday. I got my first customer, you know, by 8 o'clock. Okay. And by 9:30, they're the first ones in the box. Okay. And here's where my day started to go wrong.
Yes.
They're in the finance office. We call it the box.
Yeah,
And
they don't know, but
I got sick.
Yeah.
Right when they went into the box, I got sick and I threw up. I went to the back of the building and I threw up. I got sick. Okay. Now, once I threw up, I said, oh shoot, man, this is gonna mess up my day. Went to Dave Langley, my manager in used cars at that time. I said, bro, look, I just threw up. I got sick, man. I might have to go home. He said, bro, it's okay, man. You're gonna be just fine. You know, you already got a deal. So let's just get through it. Go out and get you another one. I said, cool, no problem. I'm down. That's what I'm trying to do. You know, so I went out, got that customer, you know, teed that car up. They're out. Okay. I go out and get another customer. So by 11 o'clock, I got another customer there. They got the car. We're doing the credit app and I start feeling sick again while I'm doing the credit app. I go to the back of the building again and throw up. I get them to sign the credit app and I go to the back and throw up again. So I done threw up 3 times and I'm like, yo, David, bro, I'm bad, man. I done threw up 3 times, man. He's like, it's all good, bro. Take the car around to clean up. You know, just sit down and chill, drink some water. You're going to be good, bro. It's all good. Don't worry about it. I said, man, no, I'm getting real sick. He said, well, look, man, you're going to be sick at home if you go at home. But if you go here, you're going to be able to make some money and you're going to be able to grow and become a stronger person because you stayed. He said, just go to the back, get some water, come back out and put your smiling face on.
Yes.
I said, okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I said, cool. So I went out and got me another customer. It's 12:30 now. Okay. This is a good day. It's 12:30 in the afternoon.
It don't happen often.
No.
Don't happen often.
Yeah. I sold 14 cars on one weekend, by the way. I was a beast. So it's 12:30 now. I got me another customer, got them in the box. I throw up again. And at this point, I got weak. I went to another manager outside of David Langley, told him what was going on. And that manager said, hey, look, man, it's okay. You can go home. And when David Langley found out that I went to another manager, he was a new manager, by the way. When I went to him, he got so upset at me and says, how dare you get weak on me like that? How dare you try to go home? You're having one of the best days of the month right now. You can set your whole day up, right? And I told you, this is just going to make you stronger. But I will never forget that day. Now, I end up going home after that, but I will never forget that day because what I learned that day is that I'm going to have to work harder than I've ever thought I would ever have to work. I'm going to have to endure stuff that I never thought I would have to endure. I'm going to have to do things that nobody else would do in order to get to where I want to be. So that day shaped like me actually doing real estate and talking to sellers, right? Doing things that nobody else will do. So to this day, I feel comfortable walking up to somebody's house and knocking on the door and asking, can I buy it? Because the car dealership shaped me to be cool with being uncomfortable. I feel just at home being uncomfortable. I'm cool with that. I can be uncomfortable. And, and I try to stress that with all of my guys or anybody that I'm around or my cousins or my family. Like if you feel uncomfortable, don't shy away from whatever is going on, because right there in that uncomfort is where you're going to have the opportunity to grow. So you have the chance to get weak and bitch out, move, or you have the opportunity to stay, get stronger, grow, learn how to persuade and influence and be stronger and become the person that you want to become right there in that moment. Yeah.
So with that being said, that kind of piggybacks off of what I said earlier. I mean, and I told you, I don't know if you felt it, but like I said, during the first conversations with you, it was kind of like at the end of the day, you grow through your failures.
Right.
At that point, you were like at the pivotal point of failing because you kept getting sick. And it was almost like, the enemy knocking at the door, like, no.
Right. Right.
You won't be, you know what I'm saying? Like when the enemy was knocking at the door, we gotta give him the boo sound. It was, we don't want the enemy. We want the great sound. You know what I mean? We want that applause. Because the enemy was knocking on the door, and we said to ourselves, like, you know what? We see you knocking, but you're not gonna get in.
Right.
There's no way in the heck you're gonna get in, because at the end of the day, we're gonna ensure that not only am I good, but my people coming behind me are
Right.
excellent.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. That's one thing I told my wife. That's funny. I
Yeah,
like that. I love that.
definitely, because we build a platform in which, you know, whoever's coming behind us, you know, at the end of the day, we're gonna make sure they're good. You know, because it ain't for us. It ain't for us. People ask me all the time, Ricky, how are you so good at doing what you do? And it's not because I didn't endure the ups and downs. It's not because that the transition wasn't ugly. It was because I stayed faithful to the path, right?
Yeah.
I stayed faithful to the clause. I stayed faithful to my goals and my dreams and my desires. And when that being the case, it was kind of like, you know, I have no choice but to go forward. You know, once upon a time, I was in law school and I failed at law school. You know, the law school got shut down, and I thought I was going to go and be a lawyer and help people out across the world and just be a lawyer and just help out youth and this and the third and be a, you know, a family court advocate in the law arena. But it didn't work out for me. And when that didn't work out for me, I took lemons, and instead of me eating the lemons myself and just eating them and being selfish, I took those same lemons and I made lemonade.
Yeah.
And when I made the lemonade was actually able to actually allow others to drink off of. But if I just ate the lemons myself, that's kind of selfish.
Yeah.
Only I can only eat off these lemons, right? But if I want to help the other people out, if I squeeze lemons up and I make the juices out of them, I add some water and some sugar, and I make it all sweet, it allows you as the other person to actually see you don't have to necessarily go through what I went through, but you have those mentors in place, you have those advocates in place, you have those people that's pivotal in your life in place, and they'll help you, you know, kind of go through the test of times and come out with a smile. Because everything that's your wildest dream is at your fingertips. It doesn't coincide with Snapchat. It doesn't coincide necessarily with IG or these other platforms. You know, you may have to utilize those platforms to kind of get yourself out there, but you don't have to be an IG model, and that's male or female. You don't have to be on, unfortunately, I'm sorry to say, but OnlyFans. You can actually get out here and make some real money. You can actually get out here and make a difference and make a change in people's lifestyle. And it doesn't necessarily always take college, you know. It just takes effort. It takes time. And it takes sometimes you failing. It takes sometimes you falling back and saying, hey, I did that wrong, but let me take a different approach. And within this approach, what can I succeed at? How can I make this next thing actual pivotal point in my life to where I can transition it to being that person, that GOAT, you know what I mean? I'm the greatest of all time in my craft, in my lesson. And before we tap out, one of the things I would like to say to you is, you know, Sawand, is if you were to look back at your 16, 17-year-old, 18-year-old, 20-year-old self, what is the one thing looking back, like, you know, what is it that you would like to tell yourself looking back at yourself right now? From where you're at right now, going back a couple of years, what would be like the key thing?
I would tell myself you're doing the right thing, because when I was when I was 13, I started my Juan's Lawn dog sitting service, and Juan's Lawn and dog sitting service. I was cutting grass and dog sitting to make money, and I did that all the way through high school. And I was, you know, so in middle school I was making $1,000 a month cutting people's grass and dog sitting dogs. So like I said, everything that I went through when I got to the dealership, that's when I realized everything that I learned. Juan's Lawn dog sitting service, when I worked at the golf range in Garner, when I was in the band in high school, when I worked at the call center at A&T, you know, when I served at Macaroni Grill in college, when I went to my internship in Des Moines, Iowa, everything that I had been through in life had got me to that particular point. And so I would just simply encourage myself to say, hey, everything that you got going on is great. You know, ain't nothing bad. You're on the right track.
So basically, it was basically all at the end of the iceberg, the bottom of the iceberg, and things in life that you actually had to fail through to fail forward, so that you could actually come out on the opposing end.
you have to be willing to fail. You know, you have to be willing to fail. It's not all about
Open
failing.
arms. With open
You
arms.
know, yeah, you know what I mean? Because like Harriet Tubman, like she every time she went back down, you know, every time she went back down to the South, she could have been captured. She was
Definitely.
willing to
Definitely.
fail. You know, she was willing to
Whole
fail.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and but she was
That's
willing
a
to go
history
through
lesson
whatever she
too.
had to go through, you know. So
Definitely a
uh
history lesson.
yeah.
So, all right. So before we tap out, I'm gonna let you go ahead and give your outro, and tell the people what platforms they can kind of get in contact with you with. Again, I'll have everything in the description below, and I want to just thank the people for actually not skipping through the video, actually watching and enduring the whole entire video, because we had some good giblets for them, so actually they can make some coin. Because people, at the end of the day, they're about that coin. They want to make some money,
Amen.
in essence,
Amen.
and as you said, amen, because that's what we're doing this here for. We're not doing it for ourselves because we got the
Right.
knowledge. But
Right.
we doing this here to actually spread that knowledge so that people, the masses, can actually take heed to it and grab the bull by its horn and take advantage of it, right? So go ahead and tap out, and then I'll tap out after you. Again, like I said, Conversations Coffee, and we in here to stay. We're not going nowhere, and we'll do this again. We'll do this again tomorrow.
That's for sure. So Sawand Belcher is my name. Anywhere that you want to find me, just type in the words "This is me taking action." Okay, and I made that phrase up when I left the dealership. That's literally what I changed my name to on Instagram, was "This is me taking action," because I wanted everything that I did to be showing people. I wanted to show people my testimony, show people what I was doing. And so once again, I'm a real estate investor. I show people how to do no money down deals. I show people how to buy as many properties as they want during a 30-day period of time, is make as much money as you want during a 30-day period of time, while you cherry pick the very best deals for yourself. Okay. So the bank told me that I'm worth 3 million, from the houses that I hold.
Wow.
So if you wanna be a part of something like that or learn something like that, just reach out to me on IG, Clubhouse, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. I'm everywhere, because I believe that everybody, especially the Black young male, needs to hear what I got to say. So I'll try to be everywhere to make sure everybody can know what's going on.
And it's funny that you mention that, because at the end of the day, like with Conversations Coffee, one of the slogans of Conversations Coffee is where it is where anybody, I'm sorry, where everybody is anybody. So you can be anybody,
All
but
right.
you're somebody in the same sense. So again, once again, we got the the whole holistic approach going on, to where we're in tune, and for that standpoint, it's kind of like where anybody is everybody, and we want not to just reach one or two, we want to actually reach the masses with this one, right? So everything is not hip hop, everything is not everything else in between, because you're gonna get a little bit of everything with Conversations Coffee, but you gotta tap in, you gotta gravitate to what's actually going on around you. And if you want to be that next entrepreneur up, you know, uh, here's a platform to actually watch, because at Conversations Coffee, we're here for you. It's a people thing. It's not for me. It's not for someone. It's basically for you guys, right? So again, make sure you tap in. Make sure you subscribe. We'll see someone again, probably in person the next time, and we'll have some gifts, some superlatives, some things of that nature. I got some stuff brewing for you guys, right? And with that being the case, again, tap in. Conversations Coffee. We on top of this thing. We ain't going nowhere. We here for you.
Mhm.
And
And real quick, Ricky, just so you know, just for your people with Conversations and Coffee, I'm gonna grab you. I'm gonna give you a special link just for them for my course. And it's
definitely,
gonna allow them to when they get the course, just from you using your particular link that I provide for you,
definitely,
they'll be able to
definitely.
get the weekly coaching calls for free when they grab the course. Okay. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So for those that actually tapped in and watched the whole entire video, you're gonna get a free course. That's going to equal some giblets, because naturally speaking, a lot of people, they don't actually watch the whole entire video. They don't tap into the whole entire video. But for those that actually tapped into the whole entire video, again, the ID, the code is actually going to be again in the description below. You're going to be able to utilize that. to actually, kind of tap in with someone and actually get some of those reap the benefits of the fruit that you endured. And with that being the case, we're gonna tap out. Again, we got my boy Sawand. We got
Yes,
my
sir.
boy Ricky in the building. All right, Conversation is Coffee, and we out.
Peace.
Peace.